This is the Goin to the Endzone Podcast.
Welcome to this week's Goin to the Endzone Podcast. We are coming to you from location Cayuga, Indiana, North Vermillion High School with Jack Burney, Nicole Christina. I'm Grant Pugh. Of course, we're at North Vermillion. Head coach Brian Crabtree is going to join us in just a little bit. So are a pair of Falcon seniors. They get set. They have the big game Saturday night, not Friday, Saturday against Covington here. Guys, though, it was a wild week 2 that even went into Monday Night Football. Jack, you were there Monday night. What a finish between Sullivan and South Vermillion.
I can confidently say that's the best game I've covered since I've worked here, since February. I mean, it was, both teams played a heck of a game. Obviously, I think, the delay and having to Monday, Sullivan had to drive back with that trophy. I think it favored Sullivan because South Vermillion had all the momentum Friday night, and then Sullivan, they start the game, they start the restart of the game, I should say, on the 3-yard line. They score on the first play, and from there, I think Sullivan started to believe. You heard Coach Caton say that after the game. All they had to do was believe, and they won a heck of a game. How about the kicker, his first ever field goal attempt, drills it from 35 yards out. Sullivan's 2-0, but I think this will make South Vermillion better. They're a very talented team. I think Coach Barrett's going to have those boys ready to go this weekend for the rest of the season, too.
Now, Sullivan, no time to rest.
Right.
Northview comes to call on Friday night.
Yeah, I think Sullivan, the good thing about them is, as a program, it's not like we're too close to this game, we don't have enough time to recharge or anything. They're ready, and I think they're pumped. You heard it in all the sound that you got on Monday. They're really just feeling it after that win. They're going to have to be ready for Northview, of course, and they're going to have to be ready to stop that run game because, Lee is just a machine out there. But, of course, the Golden Arrows have some weapons of their own, so I think it's going to be a really, really great game. I'm excited to go and cover it on Friday, and I think we're going to see a high-scoring game, too, because I think it's going to be a ping-pong back and forth between the teams. I think it'll be more of an offensive battle than anything.
One of the big games of the week. Jack, we're going to go back to you. You were there Saturday, Terre Haute South. Oh, so close to that first win of the season. Heartbreak city for the Braves. After all the travel Friday and then traveling again Saturday, they come up just short.
Yeah, what a heartbreaking loss. I mean, Floyd Central wins on a double pass to a receiver in the end zone. On the last second, they win by 1. But South played a heck of a game. Brady Wilson threw for over 300 yards, 5 touchdowns. Chris Herron had 2 touchdowns. A.J. Watkins had over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, they have a lot of weapons on offense. I just think, it's just, getting that defense back because they gave up a lot of scores, a lot of long plays against Floyd Central. But if they can get that corrected, this offense can go against anybody in the Valley. So I think I know they're 0-2, but I think, they were down 14 going into that fourth quarter, and they were up 6 with 26 seconds left. So just the resiliency of that team for Coach Herron, I think that's a good sign moving forward.
Yeah, they don't slow down. They keep it going, which is always good.
They're going to need it Friday. Friday's one of those bragging rights weeks where you got Bloomington coming to Terre Haute, so Bloomington South coming to Terre Haute North, Bloomington North coming to Terre Haute South. We'll see if the Braves can bounce back there. Nicole, you saw our play of the night winner for week 2. That'd be Blaine Boger, North Knox. North Knox got a big win last Friday night.
Sure did, and that was, they came out swinging. Both of them scored within, I think it was 10 minutes to go still in the first quarter. Both of them had put points on the board. Of course, Eastern Green has to travel to North Davies and face an undefeated team, but it was cool to see North Knox and Eastern Green really come out swinging on Friday and be aggressive offensively. Two smaller programs, but have a lot of heart, and were able to really prove that as they got started with the game. A lot to catch right in the first couple minutes. That's always a lot of fun.
And Paul Oliver, the real deal. You saw the Linton Miners, a big test for them at home when they passed last Friday.
They passed, and I will tell you this too. Being there and seeing Paul Oliver pretty much get, nearly 50 yards down the field, have it called back, and then do the same exact thing and actually get the score. That says it all. The kid's a tank, and he's got a lot of weapons around him too. But it's just so fun to watch them. Him and Hank, and him slowing down to let Hank have some fun and just pummel that kid. It doesn't get any better than that. And again, a team that they were fighting through the first half, and then in the second half they came out and it was like, no, we got this. We're not going to let you guys take this from us, especially not at home. So Linton looking like a powerhouse as usual.
Week 2 for the high school football season. Illinois Paris got a win over these North Vermillion Falcons last week. They're back at home this Friday. KZ Westfield is at home. Anything else, guys, stand out from the schedule as we go through the couple of Saturday games this week? Of course, North Vermillion here on Saturday, South Vermillion playing Park Heritage Saturday as well. Anything else that really stands out to you guys as we get set for week 3 of the high school football season.
Hey, I'm excited for some Saturday football.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
I'll get to be at both games on Saturday. I like a little high school football on a Saturday.
Yeah, and I think South Vermillion, you touched on that. They're back at home again this week. They've got Park Heritage, and I think it'll be interesting to see how Barrett corrects the ship. I think he will. Yeah. I think he's going to be able to right the ship, but it'll be interesting to see how they come out and play after that heartbreaker on Monday.
We can't wait to see high school football on Friday and Saturday this week. We can't wait for the rest of our show coming up. Coach Brian Crabtree of the North Vermillion Falcons will join us next. You're watching our Going to the End Zone podcast. We're back right after this. Welcome back to our Going to the End Zone podcast at location North Vermillion High School. We are now joined by our special guest this week, one of our Falcons special guests, head coach Brian Crabtree. Coach, welcome to the podcast. It's great to finally get you on.
Hey, thank you. I think it's really cool that you guys are doing this for the Valley and for football season. It's nice to get the information out to people in podcast form.
Nice to have some football weather this week. We're doing this on, you guys have a Saturday game, but the weather looks fantastic this week after the heat we had last week, Coach.
Yeah, it was tough last week. I mean, it was adversity, but playing in a game like that, especially if you try to play at tempo on offense, it's going to make you better the next time you get out on the field. So we looked at it as a conditioning opportunity as well as just trying to win the game last Friday night.
You got a lot of seniors on this team. I think 4 on the offensive line coming back. Seniors, just how big is it for you guys to have that senior leadership on this team, not only this year, but to help the young guys and keep this program building up?
Sure. You win and lose with your seniors. That's it every year. And this group has played a lot of football. They had to play early, unfortunately. Some of them as freshmen, a lot of them as sophomores, juniors. So there's a lot of experience that comes with them. They're an awesome group to coach because they're tough and they like to be coached hard. So we get a lot out of them there. They understand, what full benefit means, and they're taking full advantage of that.
Well, there's definitely a lot of good energy around this program anytime we come up here. And I know you guys have split the game so far this season. What are some big takeaways in terms of things you've seen you really like, and maybe some areas that you want to improve on? Energy, you're always going to have that, but what are some other things that you're excited to have?
I think that, things that I've seen that are awesome, flying to the ball on defense.
Yeah.
Our kids, we're getting 11 in the shot at the end of the play a lot of times, which is what you want. Offensively, I feel like it's a little bit more spread around. I feel like we've got probably our best 11 on the field, and now we're just working on ways to get everybody involved. And I like that the fact that this team gives us the opportunity to do that.
The schedule will kick up a notch this week. You
Sure.
got Covington. Certainly people are going to already talk about South Vermillion next week, but you guys are focused on Covington.
Yeah.
What's that mean? That first conference game is always a big game, so I'm sure everyone's kind of kicked up a notch in practice this week, Coach.
It means everything. I mean, and the start of the WRC season is huge, but anytime you go out on a Friday or in this case Saturday night, all that matters is if you're successful or not. And in that regard, it wouldn't matter if we were playing Covington or South Vermilion or Riverton or whoever. You just got to win when you step out on the field. Now, that being said, Covington, seeing them on film this year, their coach is new and he's doing a tremendous job. It looks like some of the Covington teams that I saw, kind of during their prime a few years back, and their kids play hard and they're well coached. So it presents quite a challenge, but it's good for our conference too. When everybody kind of raises their level, it's going to make your teams at the top that much better for the tournament. So that's kind of what we're hoping.
Coach, just what's the identity of the team this year? If you had to pick one thing that defines this version of the North Vermilion Falcons, what would it be?
I think they're tough. One thing that, when I decided I wanted to be a head coach, I always heard about certain teams working harder than other teams, and that was their only advantage. They didn't have this advantage, that advantage. They just work harder. So I wanted to make sure that teams never outworked us, and this group makes that easy because, it doesn't matter if it's freaking 20 up downs after a drop pass or getting on the line for gassers at the end of practice or whatever. They just want to win. And, that will take you a long way further than just what your talent will.
Yeah, and we, of course, have enjoyed covering you over the years. Grant, we were on our way up here, was talking about that 2014 team and, of course, winning that state title. In the years since then, what about your coaching has changed and evolved, and how do you feel like getting that success kind of early on allowed you to continue to have success, maybe not another state title, but a lot of, deep postseason runs over the years, and that grit that you're talking about? It all seems to always come together here. What have you learned over the years since then that's kept that alive?
Well, no one rises to low expectations, first of all. And with this group, we came in from the very beginning, and I feel like there was already a decent foundation set when we got to North Vermilion. Some work had been done before we even got here. And so we just had to make sure that we took that and took it to the next level. And when you're successful and when kids know that you love them, like you love them, you know what I mean? Win, lose, whatever, you love them and you're going to be there for them. That gets you to kind of a next level. Again, I mentioned earlier, playing kind of beyond your talent because of your toughness, but also when there's genuine love in a football program, people will put that extra amount in. And so then as you go through the years, perfect examples out there this afternoon at our practice. Wednesday nights are special here because all of our youth league teams come in and they practice around the perimeter of our varsity practice field. So they get to see our varsity kids, they get to see our varsity coaches coaching, and from the time they're in, kindergarten, they kind of see what North Vermilion football looks like, and so they understand what the expectation is. And again, no one rises to those low expectations, so they don't come in wide-eyed and surprised when it's tough.
Yeah, they're ready for it.
Speaking of that, Coach, we're sitting on here out on this field. We have seen a lot of big moments for you guys on this field. What do you think of when you're on a Wednesday? Certainly you got game week prep, practice prep, but what do you think of when we sit out here on this field of all the big moments we've seen here over the years?
I think of all the kids that have come through, and maybe you didn't think that they would be one of them that would make one of those big moments. Certainly not when they're a freshman and, they weigh 100 pounds and you don't know how they're ever going to get on the field. But then they come through a program for 4 years, and by the time they're seniors, they play significant roles. A lot of times those kids have ended up making some of our biggest plays. I don't know. I couldn't. There's not enough time to sit and think about the things that have been awesome that happened in the past, because there's always another freaking Friday night. There's always the next thing. But I will say, man, one of the greatest joys of my life has been having this as my home field and getting the opportunity to coach up here with this community and these people and everybody that surrounds the program and makes it as awesome as what it is, and especially these kids. I know I'm biased, but I think it's a really tough, hard-nosed version of kid that comes out of Northern Vermilion County.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about. Coach, the last 3 years you guys have shown steady improvement year in and year out. Just what's the biggest thing that you think has led to that improvement? You were 1-9 in 2020, but last year you're back to a winning season. I know the goal is eventually to get back to winning state titles and winning 10+ games a year, but just what do you think has been the biggest thing that's led to that improvement year in and year out?
It's been hard work the last 3 years, guys. And we, you kind of get spoiled because you have these runs of success. And so you really focus on and appreciate the guys who come through and maintain the program. They're doing the best they can. And maybe it's not up to what has happened in the past, but don't freaking tell them that. You know what I mean? Because they're still running the gassers. They're still doing the prison runs, all that stuff. Don't tell them that it's not up to North Vermillion standard, because their work is. And so they come out and they represent their community the best they can. And it's been 3 years of struggle and trying to get over the hump. And the guys that have played during that time deserve some of the credit for, the good things that happen in the future, because they did get us through that time.
Certainly. Well, I do know we've been talking about grit. We've been talking about just how much heart is here. And I think one of the things that we notice all the time too, I don't know if it's your message of just staying tough through it all, but you're always in shorts. No matter the weather, Coach. We came up, I have a video from 2018 of Grant and I. We don't have enough layers on, and I remember that you and members of your staff were wearing shorts in November. What is that just the grit embodied through that wardrobe, or what's up with that?
It is. It's one of those things that becomes one of those fun traditions or whatever along the way. But I don't think it hurts when kids see that their coaches can deal with a little adversity, like on a Friday night. And I'm not, and I'm hating it the whole time. I'm not tough. I'm not as tough as the kids. But gosh dang it, if they can go out and play like they do and sell out for this community, at least I can do is wear shorts.
Of course.
There you go.
Of course. Oh yeah, absolutely. We love it.
We do, and there's another thing that we're learning about. That would be buttered sausage. You're going to learn more about buttered sausage in our next segment within a couple of Falcons. But Coach, can you tell us a little about buttered sausage? Your kids seem to love that.
I'm an old man. I'm about to turn 46 this fall, but I try to stay somewhat relevant with like internet humor and memes and stuff like that. And
you have to.
So occasionally I pop on something that kind of tickles me a little bit, and so I make sure I share it with the kids. So the Gary Busey buttered sausage video that's been going around, I think it's a deep fake, but it's still hilarious. and so spot on for Busey, even if it is AI that's doing it. So
we can appreciate Gary Busey for sure. Now it's time for one of our favorite parts, is the suggestion box.
And that question was a great segue.
It really was. It really was. Okay, Coach, you're going first.
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
Right. Hopefully the handwriting is legible.
Nicole's is better than mine.
Yeah, I did most of them today, so we're good.
If you were a Major League Baseball player, what would your walk-up song be? Oh, man, that's a great question.
You can't phone a friend. You have to.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing about music. There's so many great songs. I don't know, maybe Remedy, Black Crows. That opening riff is pretty sweet. So it might be that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Burn Baby Burn, because Jack Burney. There you go. Feel the burn. Yeah.
I like that. Grant?
I think I know your walk-up song.
Let Me Clear My Throat by DJ Cool. Yeah, and you walk up and bam, bam. I would have it all choreographed too. Yeah, it would be
dancing
good.
Up to the plate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then just as I hit my home run.
There's so many good choices. I'd probably go with Jack White, Highball Stepper, when he starts the guitar on that one. But there's so many. Walk-up songs are always it's a great question.
Yeah.
All right, next. I'll go next. All right.
I'm allowed to ask questions now. I can write some of them. Yes, awesome.
Oh yes, the one favorite smell. I think I did this one. This can go
in
a couple of different ways.
But
favorite smell, Coach. You go first, and we'll all go.
My home.
Oh.
Yeah. See.
Yeah, I would say like a fresh batch of chocolate chip cookies. I feel like you can't beat that.
I think like the way that the air smells in like spring and fall, when you know that like it's changing into the seasons, but there's just kind of like that crispness in the air.
That feel, yeah.
It's a feel, a smell, yeah. But yeah, I would say that. There's like that nice crisp air.
Kind of like today, the weather's changing. Football's coming a couple days away. You go outside, smell a little grass, maybe smell a bonfire. Yeah. You can't. Football's in the air, even
Yeah, we like football.
I walked outside today, it felt like football.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Okay, Jack.
All right, here we go. Let's see, we gotta get a good one here. All right. I think it's heads or tails on a coin toss. Which one are you going with?
I've lost on both of them plenty. They say tails never fails. That's garbage. So just whatever the last one that pops in my head is.
Okay.
I'm kind of a tails never fails guy. You know, you got a 50-50 shot, but I think there's nothing cool that rhymes with heads, so tails.
You're right, but I think like heads, I feel like when you see a penny on heads, it's like
cooler.
good luck.
Yeah,
so I think
that's a
that
good
maybe a coin toss that lands on heads. I don't know.
Tails never fails. I'll roll with that. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Last one. Here we go.
There's actually one I wrote today that would have gone really well with what we were just talking about, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna keep
What if you get it? No.
Favorite pizza place?
Ooh.
Maybe.
Put him on the spot. Put us all on the spot.
No, I got it. It's Overpass Pizza right up there
Nice.
on 74. What they're producing is incredible. The thin crust is and I'm a foodie. Like I love food. Overpass. If you haven't been there, you got to go.
I got to stay loyal to Guy's Pizza in Kent, Ohio, Kent State. That's the best pizza I've ever had still.
Oh man, this is really hard.
Emery's Pizza in Milan, Tennessee is not open anymore, but Emery's was my favorite growing up. You know, arcade, had an 80s arcade, had the pizza, had birthday parties there. I mean, can you have bad pizza?
I think my favorite would probably be anything like Giordano's that you can get in Chicago, like the deep dish. I love a good Chicago-style pizza, so maybe something like that.
Now we're just making ourselves hungry.
And
Yeah.
now I'm hungry.
But back to the foodie. Elaborate a little more on. We know you're a foodie, so elaborate more. What's a Friday, Saturday food? You know, you got to have big food before a game and maybe after a game.
Well, I can't eat on Fridays because I'll throw up.
Okay.
So usually I eat around midnight. But Saturday, one of the things I like to do is get in the kitchen and make something because it's mindless. I'm not inside my head and my thoughts. So I love cooking Cajun stuff. Jambalaya, gumbo. Yeah. My wife loves my gumbo. We've gotten more into the authentic Mexican realm.
Nice.
I'm working on that. It's just, you know, like whatever you pick out that you want to eat.
Yeah.
Like I got to make that, and then you make it, and the reward is you get to eat it.
I'm hearing a Crabtree cooking segment coming to
Yes.
our airwaves soon. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not much I can do, but man, I every once in a while I throw a meal together that's all right.
Sounds like it. I believe it.
Very much. Coach, thanks for joining us this week's show. Best of luck against Covington this weekend. We'll be here Saturday.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. I appreciate the coverage. Thank you for coming up to God's country.
Had a blast up here at God's Country. A couple more Falcons are going to join us. We're back with more Endzone Podcast right after this. Welcome back to our Going to the Endzone podcast. You can see we're coming to you from Cayuga this week. The North Vermillion Falcons hosting Covington Saturday night. We're joined by a pair of Falcons now. Aiden Henchy, Cody Tryon, both seniors. Guys, what's it like? You have an extra day this week to prepare for week 3, but it's a big conference matchup. You guys start the conference season. Cody, we'll start with you against Covington.
It's great to have an extra day to work. I mean, it lets us get prepared a lot better than we normally would in a normal week. That extra preparation will really help us slow the game down on Saturday night and really play to our potential. Come out with a W.
Aiden, same for you. Bad taste in your mouth, I'm sure, after last week at Paris. An extra day to kind of use that as motivating this week?
Yeah, like Cody said, more preparation and more time to heal too. So
not a bad thing to have an extra day to heal, right?
You guys are both seniors, leaders on this team. You guys are trying to, get back to winning seasons. You guys had a winning season last year. Just talk about the experience you guys bring to the table and how you guys are, trying to help younger classmen and keep this program building up.
It definitely helps to have a ton of seniors on the team. Good seniors that had a lot of playing time underneath Coach Crabtree, because he really teaches us how to play the game well and play the game with class. And with the young kids, we incorporate that in them, and it helps for the future. And
yeah, we played a long time. I know Cody started this all 4 years, and I played a lot. We got a lot of varsity experience, and we've been working hard this summer. And under Coach Crabtree's belt, we're ready.
Piggying off that, what does it mean to be a Falcon? I mean, you have the youth football practicing behind you. You guys, it's football's bread up here. You guys have been playing football for a long time. What does it mean not to, your senior season's not over yet, but what does it mean, Cody, we'll start with you, to be finally a senior and after you've grown up through this program with Coach Crabtree and a winning tradition?
It's hard to put into words. It's great to go through this program. This is a great football program. It started with Junior Martin, up to Coach Crabtree. That's all those levels through there. John Bean, Davey Walters, Jeff Edney with the Peanuts, starting with Jeff. It's a great football program, and it means a lot to be a part of it. I'm so glad that I'm in this program.
Yeah, I started late in the Falcon school, so I started 6th grade, but I love it, man. I wouldn't ask for anything else. Hard work, I love it.
You guys got the conference opener on Saturday. Just how important is it for you guys to, start off the conference play 1-0 hopefully, and just how big of a game is that for you guys? You guys want to obviously accomplish a lot this season, and it all starts on Saturday.
We treat every Friday night, or in this case Saturday night, it's a very important game, like it's the last one of the season, because you don't know when you're going to play, if you can play another football game again. But this Saturday is very important. You got to want to start off your conference play with a W, so you can fight for that conference championship at the end of the season.
This week hits real different. Every conference game hits different, but man, this week we're grinding this week, and we're going to keep grinding. But we're ready for this week.
Talked a lot about football. Now we'll talk a little non-football. You got Coach Crabtree over here. What's something we may not know about Coach Crabtree that we should know? Maybe on a game day prep, non-game day prep. Cody, we'll start with you. What's something we don't know about Coach Crabtree that maybe everyone should know?
There's a lot. One of the main things I like about Coach Crabtree is he comes into the weight room every day with energy and really starts our day off good, because I have 3rd period APC. And he's always got a different meme or something off the internet, something funny to start the game, just like buttered sausage. I know that's something he came in with the other day. I like that one. But yeah, he's great. He's awesome to have as a coach.
Yeah, I piggyback him. He's awesome. He knows when to be serious and when he can have fun. I don't think we go a single practice without 20 full benefits. A common full benefit. It's the best thing. I love it.
You guys are obviously both an important part of the running game, running back, left tackle. Just when the running game gets going and you guys are having a lot of success, what's that feel like? Because I never played football, but I can imagine when you guys are just imposing your will, it's got to be one of the best feelings there is.
It really is. I mean, it just allows you to have the most fun that you can have on Friday night, and come out with a W. When you're imposing your will in the run game, there's not a better feeling. That's what you want to do. That's back to the basis of football.
Yeah, when you just pound and ground people, that's the best feeling. Man, you just block and hit, and you don't got to worry about pass protection. You're just running the ball. It feels great.
What would it mean to run the ball and pound the ball and start conference play with a win on Saturday?
It'd be great. I'd like to be able to get out of the game with not showing a lot going into next week's game, but we got to come out with a win this Saturday, and we're gonna have to do what we're gonna have to do to win. I mean, we're putting in a good week this week, and that'll help us prepare for Saturday.
Yeah, I'd like to pound and ground this week. Piggyback him. If we don't have to show what we have to show, we go into South Vermillion next week. That'd be nice, but we just need to win 1 week at a time. So.
Hey guys, thanks for stopping by this week's show. Best of luck Saturday this week. We can't wait to see what you guys do against Covington.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching this week's Going to the Endzone podcast on the road at North Vermillion. We'll see you at Friday or Saturday at a high school football game.